If I had to start a drone business today with no gear and only a few $100 to spend, what drone would I actually choose to get paid for jobs? Now, there is a lot of noise online about best drones, but most of that is either spec sheet stuff or just flexing. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through 5 drones that are generally good options to start a business with, especially if you're brand new to drones. And I'm going to be completely honest with you and straight up, I don't own all 5 drones because who has that much money to spend on drones? I wish I did. Yay! However, I do own 2 of them, and I only fly the drones that I trust to make me money. But I have studied and tested and talked to other pros about the rest on this list. We'll talk about image quality that actually gets clients excited, drones that won't fall out of the sky when it's windy, and what to avoid so you're not asking for a refund instead of an invoice. Now let's start with the drone that shouldn't be as good as it is, and that is the Potensic Atom 2. It's this little guy, and it really surprised me. Potensic themselves actually sent me the Potensic Atom 2 a little while back, and I kept it mainly for a backup. Maybe good for some tight indoor shots or quick flights. But here's what happened just last week. I have a client who needed me to film a retirement village, which I've done for them many times before at different locations. The problem this time was because my Air 3S, which is also on this list, is geo-fence, which means it's controlled by software, so you can control where you can and can't fly. And the app wouldn't let me launch because it was in an area of an airport. And before you blast me about launching the drone in restricted areas in the comments, the drone was not in any flight paths of any aircraft at all, and we only needed to go up 30 meters or so to show an elevated view of the village. So because the Air 3S wouldn't launch, I used the Potensic Atom 2. I explained to the client that the footage may not be as good, but it should get the job done. Now, it was a little breezy, and I'm thinking, if this thing just drifts into a gum tree, I'm done. But it held position, footage looked clean, and when I sent the footage to the client, she said, wait, that was from that little drone? And just like that, I made money with a drone that cost less than some people's tripods. The controller is what I really like about this drone though. It's surprisingly good. It doesn't have a built-in screen, but anyone who has watched this channel before know that I love Potensic drones, and this is by far the best controller I've ever used as far as comfort and versatility goes. Flying this drone feels light but controlled. It's not a tank by any means. I wouldn't use it in a gale, for instance, but for suburban gigs it's more than capable, and it will handle a bit of wind, as you can see from the footage here. The app is beginner friendly, it's not flashy, but functional. Orbit mode, tracking, return to home, it's all there, and the footage is 4K 30 frames a second, decent clarity. I've color corrected it, edited in DaVinci, and sent it off to the client with no complaints whatsoever. Now let's hit those 4 business boxes for each drone so you can compare. Image quality, good enough for real estate, social promos, or YouTube B-roll. Reliability, way more stable than I expected. GPS lock is fast and battery life is around 25 minutes. And for the legal stuff, it's under 250 grams, which means in many countries you don't need a license, which is a huge win for beginners or travelers. And for upgradability, it's the perfect starter drone, but you will outgrow it, but not before it pays for itself a few times over. By the way, if you're just getting into drone photography and want a shortcut for your editing, for instance, I've got 2 free Lightroom presets you can download right now, and that also gets you access to my weekly photography video and drone tips newsletter. I share gear advice, editing tricks, all the good stuff, just for beginners. Links are in the description and comment section as always. Go grab those while you're here, if you want. You don't have to. No one's making you do anything. Alright, next up is the DJI Mini 4 Pro. Now, to be completely transparent, I do not own the Mini 4 Pro, but I've flown it, and I've got mates who swear by it. Think of it like this, it's the Atom 2's smarter, slightly more expensive cousin. The bonus of this is you get optical sensors on all sides, 4K to 100 frames per second, and D-Log M, which gives you tons of flexibility when editing. And if you're into cinematic edits or want to do social media content for clients, this is a killer option. The DJI controller with built-in screen is so nice, it's bright, it's clean and intuitive. And as usual, DJI's app is where the drone really shines. Everything feels polished. Smart flight modes, return to home tracking. It's made for people who want to focus on the shot and not the settings. Perfect for beginners. And just like the Atom 2, it's under 250 grams, and that means no license required in most places. So for the business checklist, image quality is 100%. Clients will be impressed no matter what you do with this drone. Reliability, it's DJI, so it's stable, fast and smart. Legal stuff, you're in the clear as well on this one. Upgradability, it's a great bridge into the DJI world. If you go bigger later, the workflow will stay the same, and you'll know how the app works, and you'll just feel like you're just flying something you already know. And speaking of bigger drones, this one right here, this is my DJI Air 3S. This is my main drone. I use it every day, or almost every day. I take it on paid shoots, real estate, tourism, brand content, you name it. The first time I flew it over a cliffside walking trail, I actually laughed. The footage out of this thing, man, it just feels so cinematic by default. Now I am using the base model DJI RC-N3 controller and I have no issues with it whatsoever. I've used it with my previous Samsung phone and it works every time without any problems. The joysticks feel premium and the whole setup is solid in the hand. You've got 2 cameras on board, a wide angle and a 3x tele lens. And the telephoto one is a massive creative tool. You get that compressed cinematic parallax that clients absolutely notice. Battery life is great on this thing. I get well over 40 minutes. And with omnidirectional obstacle avoidance, I can fly with confidence even in tight or tricky spots. All right, now for the business breakdown. Image quality. It is legit. Pro level, this tele lens alone makes your work stand out. Reliability is rock solid. It has GPS, sensors everywhere, return to home are all dialed in. Legal stuff, it's over 250 grams, so you will have to get a license in some areas, depending on where you live. I've got mine, and it's well worth it. And upgradability, this thing handles just about everything. You don't need to upgrade for quite a while when you have one of these. Next up is the Autel Evo Lite Plus. Now, I haven't owned the Autel Evo Lite, but here's what makes it interesting. It doesn't have DJI style geofencing. So if you've ever had a job delayed because the drone wouldn't let you take off, even with permissions, this drone gives you more control. The image quality is great, 6K video, 1-inch sensor, and even variable aperture, which is awesome for balancing exposure. The downside on this drone is the app's not as polished as DJI's, but it works and it's a bit clunkier. But still, it is a solid choice for people who want more freedom to fly, especially those people who don't like DJI drones. Okay, let's do the business checklist. For image quality, clients will pay for it no matter what. It is good quality footage. Reliability, it has obstacle avoidance, only front and rear and bottom sensors, no side or top sensors like DJI Air 3S, so you'll need to fly a bit more cautiously, but it's still pretty good. Legal considerations, weight is approximately 835 grams. This puts it well above the 250 gram threshold, so in most countries you'll need a registration or a license. Upgradability, the Evo Lite 2 is more of a finish line drone than a stepping stone. And finally, we get to the big dog, the dream machine, the DJI Mavic 4 Pro. This is brand new. In the States right now, you can't get it, but it'll be released soon there, I'm sure. And if you're working with premium clients, luxury listings, tourism boards, or branded content, this drone can literally elevate your pricing. And it's got 3 cameras, a wide, medium telephoto, and a 7x optical zoom. Add in a 4/3 inch Hasselblad sensor, and full 10-bit ProRes, and this thing's ready for Netflix grade footage. But it's not cheap, it's a serious investment. If you're curious about what it's like to fly, how the footage looks, or whether it's worth the price tag, I've done a full breakdown video on it right here. Go give that a look. See you later.